Well, hello and welcome back to the Crystal Clarity Podcast. Welcome to episode 39. My name is Sarah Thomas. If you could see the video, my big Great Pyrenees Bodhi is laying behind me. So he's part of this. It's a great episode for him to be in because episode 39 is all about the heart. And it is all about magically charging other medicines and creations with heart frequency and the exact stones to use to charge heart energy into other medicines. So, this episode is a great episode for herbal medicine practitioners, ritualists, ceremonialists, potentially curanderas or curanderos who work with plant medicines or sacred medicines or cacao. Um, Also, people who make candles, salves, work with essential oils, work with aroma, incense, essential oil burners, anything that you make this special, like that you make a special creation that is meant to heal and awaken. And that when you say, I want to make this really special, I don't want to just have just my bees honey. I don't want to just like just my mimosa tincture. I want to make this really special. And when we have that thought, like I want to make this really special, we often think about how should I charge it then? I want to charge it with special prayers and special intentions. And when you're having that feeling, you want to make it special and you want to charge it for the heart so that it has a heart affinity. And a heart affinity means that it's going to go to the heart. Like if this medicine or salve or whatever it is around the body, it's going to enter the heart meridian or the pericardium meridian and go to the heart. It's like there's this grid, all these grids in the body, and it's going to enter the grid that takes it to the highway to the heart. So that's a heart affinity. And we can create a heart affinity out of medicines that don't necessarily have a specific heart affinity by charging it with the most top number one powerful crystal, I believe, for charging heart frequency, charging heart intention into medicines and creations. I'm going to talk about that today. And I'm also going to talk about I'm going to talk about a new application of stone medicine, which is not new. It's very old, but I rarely, if ever, have talked about this. But it's something called a seguro in in the Andean traditions. A seguro is pretty much like a magically charged medicine jar. And we'll talk about that today because I was just doing this with a friend and I was thinking I should share this with you all in the simplest way possible. So it's just another way to charge medicine for the heart. People I know that a lot of people think I'm going to go to this ceremony or we're going to create this ritual or we're doing this meditation or we're doing this group activation. And I want to take people to the heart. I want to take people on a journey of the heart or help them find their heart. And I think one of the first things people think of is cacao because cacao has a heart frequency. And they think if I want to take them on a journey of the heart, let me bring cacao into it. And that will create a heart vector. And there are other medicines that we think of to create heart energy. Um, we always think of hawthorn berry to move something towards the heart. We think of mimosa flower to move something to the heart. We always think of rose. Rose is always something that goes to the heart, right? Um, Bleeding heart, flower essence. Gosh, what else? Blue lotus can have a heart affinity. And the stone and crystal that has the greatest heart affinity. And this is something, not only is this the greatest heart affinity, but it's something that is so powerful magically and is so highly charged that is so great for charging other things is watermelon tourmaline. Watermelon tourmaline is one of the best stones to use to magically charge other medicines to have a heart affinity. Like I said, one of the reasons is because this is just powerfully charged stone. It's a powerful stone. It's the kind of stone that is emitting energy. I mean, tourmaline is a stone that is proven to be giving off not only is it piezoelectric, it's um, piezo. What is the word for when it's also based on heat, not electricity, but based on heat? The other piezo. So if you press this, you get electrical energy, and also if you press it and give it mechanical stress, You also get heat energy, and that word just flew out of my mind, and you're probably all screaming what it is. Um, Nonetheless, this actually gives off negative ions. It's charged. It's a really charged stone. So it's giving off all of this energy. It's a great stone to use to charge other stones. Now, yes, there are other stones that have a heart affinity, but this one's like a battery. Watermelon tourmaline is like a battery for heart charge energy. Um, Another thing about watermelon tourmaline that is, I don't want you ever to forget this, y'all. There is no stone in the stone kingdom, in my opinion, that has the generosity of spirit of the tourmalines. Watermelon tourmaline would bleed itself out completely to feed anyone else. And it does so in medicine work and in vibrational work. If it met somebody with a shirt not on its back, it would take its shirt off its back and give it to them in a moment, in a second, without even thinking about it. It would truly drain itself of its whole life force just to give to another, and it would give it fully and wholeheartedly and effectively. The generosity of spirit in this stone is so profound that when you move this highly charged stone with this generosity of spirit to infuse another medicine, it is effortless. It's effortless to infuse heart frequency with watermelon tourmaline. It's also just, if you go into the properties, the stone medicine properties, and the important, healing properties of the stone, it is one of the few stones in the stone kingdom that is as chelating and detoxifying as it is nourishing and tonifying. That means it subtracts as strongly as it gives. And most stones, like 95% of stones, herbs, they're more strongly chelating or they're more strongly tonifying. This stone is the king of chelation and detoxification and the king of tonification, nourishment, abundance, generosity, giving. So it is really rare to have that strong of a plus sign with that strong of a subtraction sign in one stone. And the properties that unfold from that, they go on and on and on. I could talk to you about this for 3 hours, the power of this stone. Um, I'm not going to go into all the properties, but I want you to imagine something that is profoundly clearing and also profoundly nourishing, going right into the level of the heart, right into the heart. Pink and green is watermelon tourmaline. There's often a green rind around a pink center. And sometimes Mother Earth offers us medicine and just makes it so obvious for her beautiful children that she loves to, pluck and work with that medicine and just understand that this is heart healing. Sometimes she just makes it so obvious. She doesn't want you to have to, it's just simple. It's simple. This looks just like a heart radiating energy. Heart is red and pink in Chinese medicine. And I could also go on and on about like why in so many levels that's true, nature phenomenon. And it's also green. The heart is also green in its energy field. And partly in the Taoist is because the liver is green and they're almost inseparable. The liver is the mother of the heart and just rising its energy up to feed its child all the time. And part of that is at a chakra level, the heart is green. There's this opening and upliftment of this green color that uplifts into this blue color at the throat chakra. So red and green is just the color of the Shen, or the heart and the heart spirit. So when you all are thinking, I want to charge something to go to the heart, we're often thinking, why would you want something to go to the heart? So most of the time, we want something to go to the heart on a really simple level because we want the experience to be uplifting. We want the experience to be joyful. We want the experience to be one of remembering, remembering home and remembering love, because we have a hard journey here. We're in this place where we're not, it's just the Wild West. There's a lot of polarity, good, bad, right, and wrong when you're seeing through the lens of the self, which most of us are at this level of our development and consciousness here on earth. And it's a difficult place to be because we're often seeing through the self, which is biological separation and psychological fear. So it's a difficult place, it's a difficult journey. But when we remember what happens at the heart, and we deeply remember non separation, we deeply remember union and communion, we deeply remember love. We remember that from home, you could call it, because um, it's what's deeply encoded into us is the true reality is oneness, and the true reality is love. So when we want to have an experience where it's like, life is hard and we're working so hard all the time, it's because of our level of consciousness and what we're working on piercing through. So often we want to go into a ceremony or a ritual or have a medicine that like takes that weight off and helps us just remember home and remember love. What is the truth in our heart? The reason why the heart helps us remember is because it is literally on a higher plane than the rest of our system. Our physical system, all of our organs, our vibrational bodies, the heart sits on a higher plane. This has been observed in so many different ways by ancient traditions and medicine traditions. It sits on a higher plane and at a higher frequency. The heart inside you, it exists at a higher frequency, a lighter frequency. It is connected to a place of greater possibility. It is connected to a place that is closer to the singularity, closest to the oneness, closer to home. So when we raise up to a heart frequency, we remember home, you know, we remember love. And I think there's so many times you're coming to a meditation group, or you're making a sleep medicine to sleep better or something, and you just want to give it that heart energy of remembering love and helping the self kind of sail out of the anxiety and the control and just sail into the calmness and groundedness and the surrender that takes place to enter the heart. Wu Wei, the place of effortlessness. Wu Wei is the place of effortlessness, and that's within us, in our heart. Watermelon tourmaline is the most giving, the most generous, the most powerfully charged heart stone. And recently, my friend was making medicine, and I was saying, she kept saying, I want to have a heart experience. I want this experience, because she was going into ceremony and she was thinking, I want this experience to be very focused on the heart. And of course, I hear this all the time. And so I said, here, let me make this for you. And I made her this Siguro of all of my watermelon tourmaline. I collect these, I got all of these watermelon tourmaline that I have. And if you watch this on YouTube, you can see me holding them all up if you want to watch the video. But this is my precious collection of watermelon tourmaline and a couple of pink tourmalines and red tourmalines. It doesn't even look good in this picture, but this one looks exactly like the heart. Here's another one. And yeah, that one looks pretty good there. There's one of my watermelon tourmalines. And what I did is I just put them all in this jar. And the Siguro means like safe container. The Andean traditions, they'll make a Siguro of magically charged medicine, magically charged objects, magically charged kuyas or special stones. And I also put into this jar quartz, because quartz is the great harmonizer, and it also amplifies this. So I just put clear quartz in with this, some of my clear quartz, and then I'm just going to close the jar. And this would be a Siguro. So there are so many levels of how, like, I can pray over this and pray over this and just do so much ceremony and ritual and take it to 200 mountaintops and pray with it to just keep opening and enhancing this medicine and making everything in here mold together, and I'm not like come together and merge together and enliven and grow. And in the Andean tradition, there are so many different rituals, day-long rituals, 3 long day rituals, where you're doing all kind of intense things intense medicine ceremonies just to charge your Siguro, just to charge this. So I've heard I have not done this, but I've heard some great stories from my own teachers about their teachers having them do such intense ceremonies, all focused on charging their Siguro. So it would always not just be a thing, but truly a power object, a magical healing and awakening power object. So, and sometimes they'll add water to it. So, like all of this is full of water too, and you can see bubbles around it and everything. Um, so, I made this for her and I said, here, take this because I know you want this to be a heart journey. It's all my watermelon tourmaline. And so she had it on the stove when she was cooking the medicine. She had it on top of it when the medicine was resting. She was placing it around it. And then she could take it into her ceremony as well. And when she was holding the medicine in the ceremony, she had this Siguro with her and it was on her altar. And it's just always magically charging her medicine. Like I said, you could put it below it, on top of it. You can cook it next to it. And some of you might now be thinking, why don't you just do an elixir? We do stone medicine elixirs. We do. We could make a watermelon tourmaline elixir and just put a few drops into her medicine. And you can do that with your candles and salves and all the things that you're making. Stone medicine elixirs are amazing and you can do so much with them. And that's, of course, when you infuse the water with the watermelon tourmaline and then you just use the water to interact with the creations. The Siguro is interesting because it's really good for travel. It's really good for giving to someone. It's really good for just going into different situations or carrying in your medicine basket. Like it literally means like safe container or safe jar. And it just travels better than an elixir. So I could have brought an elixir and I would have been saying, just put a few drops or here, give it back to me or whatever, or put it in there and then take it out. Or sometimes even we have a test tube with our elixir. You know how we get fancy in making our elixirs. But this is kind of cool because if you think about how people really work in real time medicine, nature traditions, they are moving around a lot. They're going to the top of the mountain a lot and they lay down a blanket and they do a fire and they go to the next mountain and the next walk and see the next person. And this is just a great way to travel. It's a good travel thing or to give to somebody or I know that she can take it with her and use it and it can dump over and fall and everything's going to be okay. So it's kind of just like a safe little magically charged container. And I just wanted to give you the possibility of doing that and making your life easy in that way. That the more you pray over this and work with it, the more magically charged it would get. But this is also just like a practical and fail-proof way that I could give her all of my watermelon tourmaline for a time being and have her infusing her medicine all the time. And just one more thing I want to say. And no, I did not have caffeine before this podcast. I know I sound like I'm talking fast and telling you all these things. I actually meditated before this podcast and went deep into my heart and relaxed and was breathing and feeling my heart and feeling that different plane of possibility. And I guess what I'm sharing with you is just passion now. So I'm excited about. I love watermelon tourmaline. Like I would go to the ends of the earth for it. So maybe that's part of the passion that you're feeling. And before I forget to tell you, last night I dreamed also of green tourmaline and finding this chamber of green tourmaline under the earth and there was just so much of it available and so many different kinds. And it was just this feeling of you have more than enough, like anything that you need. Cause I was trying to gather it for all my students. I was looking for green tourmaline for my students. And I was like, I need like 100 and there was more than enough. So green tourmaline is like one of the ultimate abundance stones. And people don't really think of that often, but it is true. It's always saying there's more than enough. It's always eradicating that scarcity programming or helping us shift that scarcity programming. Green tourmaline is another really cool stone to work with for engaging other medicines, with infusing them with heart medicine, especially plant medicines. Because green tourmaline and the plant medicines in the natural world, like the earth natural world, just sync together so easily. So if you're using plants, green plants, the natural physical world and green tourmaline, you'll just find that they sync up really, really great too. So you might have more green tourmaline than watermelon tourmaline. It's just a great alternative to use green tourmaline, especially for plant medicines and herbal medicines. So this is my number one stone to give you to magically charge any medicine to become more of a heart journey. You can do the Siguro application and make like a magically charged jar. Or you can, place the watermelon tourmaline around the medicine in any other way that you see fit. The last thing I'll share is that there's another easy thing to do that what I did when I was just working with her medicine is, so I use the breath a lot, as you know, as an activation or a way to get this medicine into that medicine. And all I do is kind of sink into my heart and use my breath to move through this medicine, the watermelon tourmaline, and into the next medicine. So I actually just engage my heart and the heart of this medicine and the heart of the next medicine. Like I go to the center of things, which is the heart of things, and engage those things. And it's almost like I use my lungs to just squeeze my heart. And I go like this. So my heart is going into the heart of this medicine, and I'm blowing this medicine into the next medicine. And sometimes you'll naturally and effortlessly feel just to use the inhale as well. And when you inhale, you're bringing that medicine back through this medicine and back into you. So you're actually using your breath as the weaving, and using the grid points are the heart of these things, connecting the heart of these things, using your breath as the weaving that's going to weave these two things together. It's very, very simple. Um, you know, Honestly, guys, I've done all kinds of healing treatments, as you know, ceremonies, rituals, like fires. There's all kind of prayer work, meditation work, alchemy work, plant medicine work, creation work, herbal medicine work, and I can't even tell you how when you work with these things and you are working at the level of the heart and you remember, intention is everything. I mean, you could have the tiniest little piece of medicine that you don't even know does anything. And when your intention is clear and strong, that becomes a robust heart medicine, it will. It will become that. I have seen the wildest things happen with when intention is clear and strong about what you're creating. You can have a completely different journey or experience than the person next to you who set a whole different intention. You can have a completely different journey or experience or meditation or ritual or healing than the last one you had because of the meditation, because of the intention. I'm sorry. So when the intention comes from the heart, it is truly the power. That's the power. That's what's truly charging everything. And bringing stones in like watermelon tourmaline and applications like the Siguro, it's just a way to amplify your intentions and to say, these really are my intentions. Look, I'm mirroring this in the external world. And absolute miracles happen based on your intention, especially when you're working from the level of the heart. So y'all, thank you for coming to this episode. I am teaching a masterclass called Heart of Light next week, which is July 15th. No, it's July 24th, 2025. So if you're watching this from way in the future, hello, we are way in the past. But right now it is going to be July 24th, 2025. It's called Heart of Light. And we're going to talk about 4 different Shen transformation rituals, basically 4 different rituals to work with the heart, with stones to work through calming the Shen, presencing the Shen, surrendering the Shen, and ascending the Shen. So if you want to learn more about heart medicine, come to that next masterclass. You can click the link under this video. If you're watching from way in the future, just check us out at upperclarity.com. And thank you so much for coming to episode 39. I hope that you feel like, okay, that's how to make any medicine or ceremony or ritual or meditation into a heart ceremony, is to get your watermelon tourmaline out. Love you guys so much. I'll see you in the next episode.